Hey guys, it's been a few years now. I'm all old and stuff. I'm like 30. So Magic the Gathering playing that, and they have these things called battle decks where people like build decks for home use. You just play decks are meant to be played against each other. I was like, well, that's a good idea. I've got a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards here. So I built some battle decks. They're not following any particular ban list. They're all based around the time I feel they were personally the most balanced. These decks have all been tier 1 multiple times, and they are some of my personal favorites or what I could build. I'm short some Max C's. Apparently, Max C's just never going to drop, even though it's limited. It's still like $8 for a common and over 10 for the holo. I'm just like, this card is just never going to drop. Whatever. Sure, you can only play one. Let's leave it at $9 a piece. All right, so here we go. I'm going to tell you what deck is each. Remember, we have things like Dragon Rulers and Curry Bandit. We're not going to be playing too many of the newer cards. Just the ones I feel are balanced or what a deck needs. So let's just get into it. Here are my 6 battle Yu-Gi-Oh decks. Alright, so the first deck is Black Garden. This is about anti-meta. We have triple Wind-Up Rabbit, triple Thunderbird, triple Winged Rhinos, triple Fossil Dyna, just to explain to you why I'm not playing so many Max C's. Apparently we have a ball here. 2 Kaiku, Thunder King, triple Black Garden. You know, the reason I'm playing this instead of Dino Rabbit is this card is just so good. I really feel like Dino Rabbit had some bad matchups. This deck can hold its own against pretty much anything. And the reason we're playing Wing Rhinos is also because of hand advantage is huge in this style of format and play. Triple Shard of Greed, triple Pot of Duality, a 2 MST, 1 Forbidden Lance line, Dark Hole D Fisher. Traps are triple D Prison. I'm pretty sure that card got semied at some point. I don't know why. So, double Fiendish Chain, that's going to be proxying to Fiendish Chain. I'll be getting a Fiendish Chain later. Compulsory Evacuation Device. Mistake. Macrocosmos. Torrential Tribute. Mirror Force. Bottomless Trap Hole. The extra deck isn't as big of a deal for this deck. Obviously, we're stopping special summoning. We have a Madolche, a Gem Knight, Maestro, Ragna Zero, Abyss Dweller, Steel Storm Roach. Key Beetle is pretty important in this deck, won't lie. Heraldry Crest, Ouroboros, Utopia, Jin. Zenmaines to be able to get into something like some other threats you'll see in these other decks later. Blackhorn, Utopia, Bray, whatever. This is a comeback card. One thing to keep in mind with this deck, of course, is Black Garden has a revival effect. This camera's not going to focus in on it, but you contribute the plant tokens on the field to pretty much Boss Reborn something in your graveyard, which is another reason we're playing Winged Rhinos here. So that's all for the Black Garden deck. That's the first deck here. Okay, where would we be without Lightsworn? We got triple Lumina, triple Wolf, triple Lila, triple Necro Gardener, triple JD, 2 for Card Trooper. We're not running Curry Bandit or the new Lightsworn Miller because that's just too good in my opinion. We're trying to go with slower format here. Honest, Ryko Jane, Gareth. We splashed in a Black Luster, Ethrin. Spells, we have triple Solar Recharge, triple Monster Reincarnation. No, we're not running Max C in this deck. We're either going to mill and win or we're going to lose. To only 2 Lances, not 3. Like I said, I want to be really aggressive here. That's how I feel Lightsworn was meant to be played. One of Beckoning Light. And 2 Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough is just better than Veiler, in my opinion, with this deck. It gives you more utility when it's milled. Triple Wabaku. A lot. I always like the defensive versions of Lightsworns, especially with the lances. Your opponent isn't sure if they should go all in or not. The extra deck. Zen Mines, Paladynamo. I don't think Level 2 was too broken. It got more broken in other builds, like with the Elemental Dragons and stuff, and maybe even Chaos Storm, but it's a fair card. It's a 2-for-1. We got Levier, Bujin Tsukiyomi, Diamond Direwolf. This is a really underrated card. Number 49, Fortune Tune, Cowboy, Omega. Oh, guess we'll have to change something here. We're not putting 2 Lavalva chains in. Silent Honors Arc. Alucards, again, a pretty fair card. And Downard is a good way to get a light and dark in the graveyard. With just 1 card, just overlay this over top, gets past things like Fiendish Chain, which you will see more of in other decks, so let's go break out one of those now. Okay, so I kind of hinted towards what this other deck would be. Six Samurai! Sam's had a pretty good coming back, especially when Redox was around, when the Elemental Dragons were limited. This deck had kind of a showing. So we got standard lineup here of Kagamusha and Elder. Triple Kizan, of course. Anishi. Oh, which one is this? Iru. Iru is really just a Ascension into that. Okay, got... Sorry about that. Zanji. Grandmaster. 1 Maxi. 2 Maxi. 2 line of Maxi. This deck doesn't have many answers with Maxi, but when you have the traps, you can get some draw when your opponent thinks you're good. Play a well-timed Fiendish Chain later. Search Power, 1 Rhoda, triple Smoke Signal. Triple Ascension. This is Sam's, you know. Don't suspect some variants. Triple United. Triple Dojo. 1 Day Peace. Just 2 MST. Gateway, in my opinion, if this deck doesn't have Gateway, even back then, if the deck didn't have Gateway, it was going to lose. I don't think Gateway's broken. It's a continuous spell. You have to have the right setup in the hand to do it. I mean... In the worst case scenario, you're just building, like, even the best case scenario, I should say, like, what do you honestly, you have to have the perfect setup for this card to be an OTK. It's really not super duper good. Dark Hole, Torrential. This is double-edged sword technique. This is more of an aggressive version of Sam's. 2 Fiendish Chains. You're going to notice there's no warnings in any of these decks. I think warning is a broken card. Here's the tech card in here, Ravu of Warlords. In my opinion, this card, it's a surprise. Even for something like Chaos Dragon, you just flip this up, and all of a sudden, you'll have the advantage over them. Especially if you lock them down. Like, even, especially against Black Garden, that card can just help get rid of those tokens out of your way, help deal with things. So the extra deck, Zen Mines, Gandiva. Gandiva can lock down opponent's special summoning. Zen Mines obviously gets things out of it. Stardust Dragon. Crimson Blader, again, this is a toolbox deck. I'm going to lock things down. Scrap Dragon. One of the best synchros ever printed. LA of Justice Catastor. Probably been power creep by now. Diamond Direwolf. Levier. I always liked Artemis. I think it's an amazing card. If it's attacked or attacked, your opponent can activate cards until the end of the damage step. That is pretty nice, especially in a deck full of traps. Excalibur, I don't run. We're running this because we have Dojo here, and this card can help get you out of a lock or to stop your thing. Trish, you know, Trish is a good card. In Sam's, I don't think it's that great. It's easy for Sam's to get into it. Do I really have to tell you the last 3? That's a Barkion. But let's go back to Trish for a second, you know. Trishula, there's a lot of effect negation. I don't think it's good turn 1. It's usually something you have to
bring out mid-game for it to be the most effective. Trishula deserved to be unbanned. I think triple Trishula was bad. Triple Trishula was too good, but single, when it was limited to one, Trishula was just fine. They just wanted to kill Synchros. That's why Trish got the ban. I'm glad it's back. Okay, so here's the one of my personal favorite decks out of these is actually Heretic. Heretic had quite a good showing. It was tier 1, and then the Dragon Rulers came to the singles. Dragon Rulers got splashed in with them, and you had Dragon Rule Heretic. That's obviously too good. We don't want to have too fast a form. I might as well just throw Dragon Rulers and everything if I'm going to play that. So yeah, you know what? I'm not going to bother even explaining this line. I'm just going to keep explaining things because this is serious. I'm sure everybody's seen this deck a million times. There's a time I said card should be limited to 1. Do I have egg on my face? Only single. Oh, actually, there should be 2. I don't know where the other Maxi went. Whatever. Genex Ally Birdman. So 2 Battle Faders and a Swift Scarecrow, just in case. Swift Scarecrow, just in case you go against the Black Garden deck. Genex Ally Birdman is always good in this deck. So I'm running the 5-star variant. You didn't always have to have Curse of Dragon and attack the consistency, but I, for one, feel like this deck really like the flexibility of Volcasaurus. Okay, I already explained the Birdman. Triple MST, double that. I need to put a Max C in here. Probably. I'm gonna have to go get one later. Yeah, so we're playing 2 of these. Mind Control. So this is the only attack card in here, Rogeki Break. I don't want any of these decks to have side decks, and there is quite a bit of. You can lock Heretic down pretty easily if you don't have an out. I guess this is why I'm not playing another Maxi. We're playing kind of the hobo version, not hobo, Hobin version of this. The extra deck. People did play 2 of these. I liked playing 3 and 3, but you can pull off an OTK with just 2 too, so that's why we're doing that. I had to give it to another deck. Gauntlet Launcher. Volcasaurus is super important for that deck. Paladinimus, Stardust, Star Eater, super easy to make, good card. Shark Fortress, Force Focus, Constellar, Tyrus, Photon Strike Bouncer, and Beals. It's pretty standard, you know, nothing super different about this than you'd see other places. I put in a second Maxi if / want to get one, but besides that, I'm pretty happy with this deck. I don't put in 2 because I'd hate to have. I'm not going to put in 3 when you're dealing with Black Garden. Before I say what this deck is, it is the Dragon Shrine version, so don't go thinking this is going to be another Lightsworn and click off the video. It's Chaos Dragons. Chaos Dragons, of course, multiple times coming in tier 1 the format. Not quite as powerful as its initial run, but there were definitely a couple of different versions of Chaos Dragon that were tier 1. So this is more of the hand trap control version. This is definitely not Argo. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be looking at this and say, oh, where's your win condition? This has no win condition. Let me explain something to you. Here's the win condition of this deck, okay? Hand traps in a slower format are so powerful. Hand traps, I mean like Tragodia. I'm playing the decks as in Tour Guide was Semied. I think that's when the card was fair. It was more creative than Bus. I like Bus, especially like Bus more than Assault. Whatever that ninja card was. BLS here. Gores, again, I'm sure a lot of people watching this are like, oh, how is this deck going to win? I mean, if you take a look at this, this is such a OP combo. Like, the era these decks are based around, okay? This and this constantly loop. Light Pulsar brings back Darkness Metal brings back Light Pulsar. When you put in a triple effect Veiler, and then you have stalling tactics like Gores and Tragodia, it's a lot more effective than you think. A 1-of Tefnuit. I'm probably going to keep it as a 1-of, to be honest. Dark Armed. This card is pretty much like a monster reincarnation for dragons in monster form. One of Maxi. Again, this is another deck. This is going to be proxied in as a Labradorite dragon. You play that, and you'll bring out your Erotic Dragon Summoner guy. Alright, so here's a thing of the shining star of the deck. There's Dragon Shrine. This is why we don't play the Lightsworn engine. You just send Komori Dragon, Eclipse Wyvern to the graveyard. Eclipse Wyvern banishes the Darkness Metal. You can banish Eclipse Wyvern from your graveyard with your Chaos monsters, and then you'll get Darkness Metal back to your hand, and you can easily start the loop. Triple MST, trying to be aggressive here with this deck. Dark Hole, Foolish Burial. It's always good to have control over your Chaos monsters. Allure of Darkness. No surprises in this deck. There's not going to be any Forbidden Lances. This is a control deck. Your main bluffs are going to be from the hand. Your extra deck monsters are Volcasaurus, pretty easily. Michael, I feel, is a fair card. I don't think he's a broken card at all. Even back then, yeah, you can pay 1,000 and still attack, like banish and still attack. But JD, you could pay 1,000 and you'd still be able to attack as well. And JD destroyed everything. Black Rose, Stardust, Crimson Blader for the lockdown. This gets rid of problematic spells. Yeah, it's technically not the first choice, but it equips from your opponent's graveyard, so you can lock down something important like a JD or any key card they were looking for, like Shien, if they wanted to bring something back. You're probably not going to make this, but it is possible to make this, especially with 2 Tragodia and so many ways of bringing out 7s. So, again, that's a Star Eater, Acid Golem, Armory Arm, Mechquip Angleneer. And here's a card people probably haven't seen. This card gains attack if your life points are higher. It loses attack if your life points are lower. And if it gets destroyed by battle, you pay 1,000 and bring it back. Attack with some weak things. This can finish things off real quick in this kind of deck. And it's a light, so that's always a bonus. So as good as Chaos Dragon is, we're winding down. There's one more iconic deck that's won multiple times. Well, I should say it hasn't won. It's been tier 1 multiple times throughout the years. I'm wondering if anybody can guess what it is. I'll give you a hint. It's pretty popular. I have a little course token down here hiding. Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's the opposite of Agents. It's Dark World, 3 Grapha, 3 Snow, 2 Brow. 1 brown, I think. What is this one? It's beige. Whoops. That one's brow. 1 Trag. 1 Maxi. Kind of want to hide these cards as I reveal them. 1 Malefic. Sorry about the finger there. 1 Morphing Jar. We're playing Morphing Jar, not card destruction. I think Morphing Jar is very fair in this deck because of the fact it's a flip summon. It's a flip, not a flip summon, it's a flip effect. It's kind of slow. Dark Arm Dragon. Forbidden Raven. Starfoil comes really nice. Trust me, it does not look that nice in person. 1 Up Tour Guide. The reason we're playing just 1 Tour Guide is we're playing triple Drag Down to the Grave. This is the hand control variant of Dark Worlds. It is just as aggressive as any other Dark World deck, but you get to have more control over your opponent's hand. That's what I feel kind of separated it from other skill drain based decks, is that this card might be a little too broken. I haven't tested these decks out all against each other. I've only played 1 match with 2 of them, the Chaos Dragon versus Lightsworn. Dark Smog is just a weird card because it's not... if you get it early game, it's not the best, but we're only going to play 1 skill drain. And here's again another reason we're not playing we're not playing more than 1 Tour Guide. Like I said, I like the hand control variant the best, in my opinion. That was where the deck really shined. Triple Reckless Greed, a Deck Devastation Virus, and Torrential Tribute. The extra deck was Herodic. It's really easy for this deck to get 2 level 8s out just because of how bouncy Grapha it actually is. HST Behemoth could easily be replaced with Gaia, Charger, whatever the synchro of Gaia was. Zen Mines, Stardust, Leviair, Tempo, Photon Butterfly, Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Ally of Justice, Ogre Dragon. If you have no cards in your hand, you can just negate all of their spell and traps. It's 3,000, so it's worth playing when you have Skill Drain out. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this card will work when Skill Drain is out, because when its effect activates in the graveyard and not on the field. So there you have it. There are the 8 battle decks. These decks are mostly meant for when people come over that used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! To have a good match of the good old days. As you can see, I wasn't afraid of putting in some newer cards that I feel were balanced. We didn't put in things that were too fast. These cards, all these decks deserve to be here. Okay, like I feel like all these decks were tier 1 at some point. Even Anti-Meta had a couple of good showings. Not necessarily Black Garden. I mean, Black Garden, in my opinion, was tier 1 when it was popular. But things like Kokimaru, Rescue Rabbit. The reason Rescue Rabbit wasn't put in, though, is because I kind of feel like Six Samurais is the same idea. But Six Samurais had more variety and execution. Not saying it's a better deck, just saying Six Sams would have an easier time against something like Chaos Dragons. Rabbit had some problems against things like Chaos Dragon. Even Dark World could get Rescue Rabbit, especially Dark World's hand control variant. Like that would ruin Rabbit's day. So we just put in Six Sams because I just feel like it's a better all-around deck for different matchups. We're really trying not to sideboard here. I really didn't want to have analysis paralysis. Just as quick, dirty fun. So this is kind of like a more of an LCG board game version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tell me what you guys think. See you later.